why did this episode give me the feeling of them dismantling the entire sister circle, like they taking it apart? Like, we got Andi and Danny at odds, Karen wanting to move, Sabrina doing her own thing. They bring in mamas in. If you gonna bring, okay, Miss Lisa has been there, but if you gonna bring in another mama, I'm the type of person, I want all the mamas there. But why are they tearing apart the sister circle? Are they just trying to show us that even sometimes the closest of people will have problems and come back together? Anyway, let's get into this convo and Kiki about this show. Hey Chatterboxes, hey, I'm Nele and welcome to Easy Convos, your cozy spot where we kiki about the latest TV shows and what's buzzing on social media. Get comfy, grab your snacks, your tea, and let's get into this convo. Today's kiki is Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 9, Episode 14, Pull Up On Me. So we have Aaron basically on the verge of a crash out. But he needs to chill for a minute so Karen can even talk and tell him. I told y'all in the last show review that I don't feel like Karen was trying to just up and leave without him. But let's get into it. Karen don't want to take Faith and leave Aaron in Atlanta and just run away. She wants a fresh start in a new place around new people. I guess she trying to make new friends, baby, and start her a new circle. I don't know. Like I said in the last show review, she does want Aaron to come, and she was trying to tell him as much once she got him to calm down. She is not running from her postpartum depression, her old problems, or Zach. Karen just wants to work on moving past them in a new place. She's even ready to let go of the salon, her heart, and so her dream. Now, I did agree with Aaron. What happens when she's healed from the depression and she decides she wants the salon back, but she done let it go and move to a whole new place? Then what? Is she going to start a new salon where she is? What is going on? Is she leaving the show? Come on. I just don't feel like she going to leave because she hadn't told her mama yet. She got to still tell her mama, and I'm hoping her mama will talk her out of it. And she still hadn't told the girls, and I'm hoping they going to bring her around. I don't know, because I'm not feeling her leaving, because it don't make sense for her to leave, because that's just going to tear the circle apart. And then what, they're going to have her living somewhere else, and then we're going to be going back and forth to Karen's place over here in Said City. Aaron doesn't want to leave the support system that they have. They got Karen's mom, they got the sister circle, plus everything that Karen has built in Atlanta. He can't understand why she wants to throw it all away. Karen did reassure Aaron the move had nothing to do with any feelings for Zach. And if if she had to co-parent with Zach, it would only make her leaving more difficult, because she's not trying to stay in Atlanta. She ready to move on. And just to be clear, and to put an end to everything, Karen is glad that Aaron is the father of Faith, and she doesn't want Zach, and she loves Aaron whether he believes it or not. That's who she loves and who she want to be with. Aaron keep having doubts because of how Karen and Zach's relationship is. He can't understand the friendship aspect. They've basically said things are over. However, they'll always be there for each other if one needed the other as friends, nothing more, nothing less. Anyway, it's a list of reasons why Karen wants to leave Atlanta, not just her depression. If Aaron is Aaron's ex-wife who unalived herself in front of Karen at her salon, her Aaron's ex-wife brother, almost losing her life giving birth, then losing her baby forever, then plus 2 getting away from Zach wouldn't hurt nothing, the fire her salon, Gary got stabbed, and the list goes on. Aaron tried to talk Karen into them having a plan first, but she's never been the most easiest person to deal with. But they're going somewhere new though. Once they have a good solid plan and sure they won't have any old problems following them, they gonna pack up and they moving. And Karen says she ready to catch a flight. However she gotta go, she ready to get up out of there. Danny gets to work and everyone is looking crazy, honey. Leonard is on his way out and he got his little box packed, and Danny calls him over to see what's going on around Higher Airlines, honey. Leonard has been let go, which is funny considering he has tried so hard to get Danny fired. Apparently, Higher Airlines is doing budget cuts, which is why everyone looks so upset and so uptight, because they ready to get their news, whether if they staying, getting hour cuts or getting fired or what's going on. But Danny hyped Leonard up to go out loud and proud. So she got him cussing Higher Airlines out all up and through the airport, saying it with his whole chest, okay? So Miss Brown comes around and tells Danny, you know, she need to see her in her office, and Danny is deflecting and telling her, you know, about this, that, and the other. You know, don't let the man do this, that, all this, what you gonna do and whatever. Anyway, all she wanted to tell Danny was her hours are cut and she is not getting fired, which was fine with Danny. She gets to keep her job and have some off time. Well, it may be fine until she realized she got to go home and look at Tony and Rock and possibly her money been stole, because I'm still hung up on why in the hell she putting this money in this mattress. But this was she finna be dealing with her hours cut, and then that money gonna get stolen. Like I said in that last video, either Rock gonna steal that money or either that mattress gonna be put out with that money in it and that money gonna be gone. Why in the crap when you leave your money in the bank? At least the majority of it. Anyway, Danny's encouragement for Leonard not to go out quietly has gotten Leonard arrested. And who is the arresting officer? None other than Officer Green, honey. Child, he should have left out quietly. That way he could have went back and been rehired one day at Higher Airlines. You don't never leave a job on a bad note. You always leave in good standing. Put in your 2-week notice, or if they let you go out with dignity and quiet. Don't ever go out like Danny told y'all to go out, because you might need to go back one day if they got some openings. Anyway, Leonard took out and took off slapping people around the airport and throwing suitcases, honey, for them firing him. Honey, no, it's not a them, it's a him. Danny still got her job, honey. He over there getting justice for him and Danny still got hers, and her hours was just reduced, and he looked crazy in the face when he found out he was over there fighting the cause for them both, and he the only one that lost his job. But anyway, Officer Green, honey, it turns out it's the man in charge and the arresting officer, so he and Danny get to talk again, okay? He didn't want to have to put Danny in handcuffs for encouraging Leonard. He said, Danny gonna slip in there, honey, don't threaten her with a good time with no handcuffs. And Officer Green heard it. He was like, what'd you say? But anyway, maybe her meeting Officer Green will help us get rid of Tony, because we've been ready for Tony to get his stinking ass off her couch and go on over there where Rich is and where Jordan is. Anyway, child, over there to the retired boyfriend section. Rock goes to the bank to deposit $10 to bring his balance up to $8 in order to try to lay his eyes on Sabrina, honey. He does not like Maurice, who thinks he knows Rock from somewhere. Now, I originally thought he knew Rock from when Q had tried to rob them, so I was happy to know that ain't how he knew Rock. He knew Rock from Sabrina showing him that picture. But Sabrina gets a call from Andi, who wants to talk about Danny. Andi has been out of shape about all the accusations Danny made. Y'all know Andi sleeping with Dr. Vaughn, hooking up with Dr. Vaughn, calling Andi a liar, hooking up with Gary, all of them accusations. Sabrina did ask Andi why did she lie, and Andi wasn't expecting to be called out by Sabrina, who wanted to know why Andi lied about Dr. Vaughn. Andi's excuse was she was meeting about caring for one and just wanted to keep things down low so a big deal wouldn't be made out of it like it is now. Well, a big deal was made, and it wouldn't have been made had she not have lied, which only brought more attention to the whole situation. But now they know, and Andy has nothing to hide, so maybe she'll start acting weird about the whole situation. But Maurice come running into Sabrina office talking about the bank about to get robbed again because Rock up in there looking around for Sabrina. And he gets Rock. He thought Rock was casing the place, but then Rock come waltzing into Sabrina's office trying to look all sexy and debonair, and Sabrina like, what, like, what is he doing here? Cause these men showing up at Sabrina's job just ain't happening. He just can't be popping up like this. He couldn't call a message or have her meet him at Billy Jake's or something. Why pull her at the bank? Y'all can't be just pulling up at this woman's job. Sabrina is not mad that Rock and Danny are cousins, because Rock is up here thinking that Sabrina mad they cousins. Like, why would he be mad that they cousins? No, she mad that he lied about all his info in the app. Don't nobody tell the truth on those dating apps. Like, hardly nobody. They always leave out some kind of little detail. The picture be photoshopped. The picture be old as crap. It be something going on. But Rock claimed he was in school for his doctorate, but then he had went to jail. And Rock called Sabrina out for serving some jail time too, because he done went and searched her and looked her up. And Maurice used 22 whole filters on Sabrina profile picture. And how in the world did Rock find that out? What you use to search and find out all that kind of information? What kind of bootleg stuff he got going on? Because honey, I need to know about this. Sabrina not gonna let him con his way out of his lie though with some sweet compliments and research on her to try to throw in her face and try to compare. But she gonna let Dr. Rock show her another good time. I'm pretty sure, even though she ain't coming out and saying yes, it's obvious that she is. I mean, that's what the people on the app are there to do, is just have a good time, and that's what they did, and she did enjoy it, so why wouldn't she? Now, why Maurice trying to cock block? He the one that got Sabrina out in these streets and doing all this foolish stuff. And I told y'all he was going to stay getting Sabrina in trouble. Now he got her in this mess. And he over there trying to cock block, and she trying to have a good time. And she in the streets, and this is what she's supposed to be doing. So Maurice, slide to the side. You go worry about dealing and let her have her good time, okay? Maurice done said in his Rashida Frost lyric voice, put it on her, make you want to marry me. They kept them coming because they had several of them in this episode. Now, I'm probably not going to say all of them, but there was one of them that had me tickled. If you from Atlanta, and if you not from Atlanta, but if you a Rashida fan like me, because I am a 90s girl, if you know, honey. But why Sabrina wearing that pajama top with that blazer, like Maurice said? What was going on with that? I done told y'all several show reviews before. She stayed wanting to be Wednesday Addams. But anyway, and why she act like she can't discuss Rock in front of Paige? She been discussing stuff and getting white girl wasted with Paige. Why she can't all of a sudden discuss stuff in Paige? And I kind of didn't like how she tried to shade Paige, because don't shade Paige now. She wanted one of y'all. You can't come at her like that, because you done let her all in the business in the Kool-Aid and talked about everything else. Don't be ugly to Paige today, because I kind of feel some kind of, I didn't like her getting smart with Paige. But anyway, but that's okay. Maurice checked Sabrina about it. It's not Paige's fault Sabrina in this situation with Rock and still want to hook up with him, but now worried about what Danny gonna do when she find out that she's still messing with her cousin. So don't be taking that out on Paige. Sabrina would be about to get her heart broken if it wasn't for Maurice keeping her mindset for the streets, in my personal opinion too. She claims she gonna be able to keep, strictly dickly if she ever hooks up with Rock again. And I feel like we talking about Sabrina here. I think a couple of times it'll be strictly dickly, and then it'll kind of be growing closer and closer together, because we are talking about Sabrina here. But Paige is all in for Sabrina having a boy toy, and she don't see why Maurice got a problem with it, which I don't either, because again, Maurice was the one wanting her to be a top pro hoe and be for the streets, and now he telling her that's professionalism, hoism, and she ain't even ready for that kind of stuff. But I feel like, how else is she gonna learn unless she crawl up on the horse and Get to practicing. Dylan finished Maurice's vision board and popped up at the bank and brought it to the job without even calling him first. But since the bank is on Dylan's way to work, he stopped in to drop it off and apologize for kissing Maurice without asking him first. Paige is looking all kinds of uncomfortable because, honey, of course, she didn't know none of this. Maurice can't help but to be irresistible, though, and Dylan feels the same kind of way. Dylan and Maurice will be seeing each other again sometime soon. Fatima is at work getting it in, honey, getting these billable hours. And Zach came to the law firm to see Fatima at work, honey. He tried blaming her mood on pregnancy hormones. And I'm kind of tired of hearing this about these damn pregnancy hormones. I done heard it all through Fatima. Now I'm hearing it all through this. And I don't want to hear nothing else about no pregnancy hormones. It wasn't her hormones, Zach. You have been being a butthole. He called himself trying to make up, but he about to mess up while he's supposed to be taking accountability, while he also wants Fatima to take accountability for the things she did. But first of all, he need to get his apologies in first. Zach apologized for calling the midwife and not following Fatima's lead as he should have. Fatima apologized for not telling Zach about Karen calling, because Karen did ask her not to tell, though things between she and Karen are cool. They still aren't just best friends. However, they was taking shots at each other, and she just didn't feel the need to tell him. When Karen said not to tell him, it was an easy way out. Fatima took accountability for her comment about Karen losing the baby. She could have found a better way to say it, maybe, and talk to Zach about it. Zach did admit he was feeling the same way while he was walking around mad at her and waiting for her to say something, trying to be all mad and hot-headed and acting a whole fool about it. But anyway, Fatima admitted to Chaz being out of line for coming to their house, honey. But Chaz is more trouble than he worth. He causing problems with she and Andi, plus she and Zach. She's really about to be over it, when all she wanted was her own thing at work. Maybe Andi is afraid of losing Fatima instead of being jealous. I never looked at it that way, but you know, that's really true. I can see that being, maybe she kind of, you know, I want to lose Fatima as like her closest with Fatima and the thing that they have going on, because her doing what she doing is putting her closer to Aiden, and her working more with Aiden and taking her away from Andi. I don't know, because then you turn around and have this whole Karen situation when she went and picked up Karen, then and it's coming off as more jealousy. I don't know this. What y'all think in the comments below, because y'all need to talk to me, because y'all been a little quiet. Maybe the thing with the whole athletes can still work if Fatima can set stricter boundaries. Maybe we hate to see her lose her own thing at the firm, because I like seeing her having her own little thing, but I don't like seeing it come in between she and Andi, because I like them being close, girl. It was good. Chaz shows up to see Fatima, not expecting Zach to be there. Chaz gonna end up with an injury if he and Zach get the fighting, honey. And if he a ball player, he don't need no injuries. Fatima ends her whole business relationship with Chaz due to his immaturity and the lack of disrespect thing. I think Miss Marie will come bulldozing her way in there, raising hell, coming at Fatima, and Andi ready to end her business with the law firm next. And Fatima better give Andi a heads up, because he gonna run straight to his godmama and tell her everything's going on, because Chaz done already threatened how Fatima gonna regret not getting his money with him and ending, you know, the relationship and everything. And I know that's what he about to do. So before this season end, we can look forward to Miss Marie come stomping up through there, going off and cussing out everybody and saying that she taking her business from the law firm. Zach is working out and decides to check his account. He has made $100K. He's finally coming back up, though, after this whole Gary situation, when, you know, Gary wiped him out and everything. And I was hoping when Gary came back and was making his apologies to his friends and everything, that Gary was going to start trying to return some of Zach's money. And try to make things right with everybody. I know he probably don't have all of Zach's money, but try to return some. You done there and took the man, stole the man money and everything. But Keys came to the gym and wants to work out with Zach and everything, talking about warming up, whatnot, and what have you. And he started asking Zach 21 questions like he 50 Cent about his last name. Does he know somebody named Go, and do he know a Gladys? And of course, Gladys is Zach's mom, as we already know. And Keys knew it was something about Zach's whole mannerism, how he act, everything he be doing that reminded him of somebody that he knew. So Keys claims that he was best friends with Zach's father. Zach looked like his father and even act like his father that Keys claimed. Keys didn't know Zach's father and mother weren't the best and wasn't really there for Zach like that. So he ended up ruining Zach's whole mood with that little bit of information, honey. Zach got his bag and left the gym, honey. Honey, when you be bringing people news, sometimes what you think is good news is bad news for somebody else, because Zach was not happy to hear it. Speaking of pulling up on him, Dr. Vaughn pulled up on Andi at the law firm, honey, down at her job. With some special made black business owned coffee because she likes spontaneous gestures, so that's what he did. She was shook and didn't want him seen by Fatima or anyone else because she feels guilty about how they met and everything, because you know they got the whole case thing going on. And she I feel like she really just don't want to associate Dr. Vaughn with the case that she built it, and that's another reason she don't want him seen. I don't feel like she embarrassed him about nothing like that, but I feel like she's just trying to keep him separate from the case and not have him related back to it. But anyway, the coffee is black and rich like Andi. Remember, he hadn't dated a black lady before, so it was supposed to be a little jokey joke. But no worries, Andi likes her coffee black, honey. I get the feeling they aren't really talking about coffee during this conversation, and that's confirmed the more they keep talking, because Andi let a few things slip. Dr. Vaughn learns that Karen is safe, found her a support group like he recommended, and some of the women in the support group are patient of Dr. Cruz's. Andi being excited about the case, her drive and passion for her job has turned Dr. Vaughn on, and he stepped up to her quick, fast, and in a hurry. He wants to see her outside of her work clothes real soon. Dr. Vaughn is a patient person, but he likes to eat. Closed mouths don't get fed, and Andi likes to be ate. Hey, get into it. I mean, Andi likes to eat too, though. Dr. Vaughn kissed Andi, but it was interrupted by her mama using her whole government name. Everybody pulling up to this episode, y'all. I know I love some mama business, but like I said, I'm gonna need all the mamas to pull up at this point, because we done seen this mama. I need to see all the mamas. But anyway, this was a good episode. A lot of things is going on and happening, but let's get into the few previews we have. Andi's mom gets up in Fatima's face and tells her to get it together before Andi fires her. Karen tells Miss Lisa about she and Aaron decided to move, and Miss Lisa was looking some kind of way. Tony told Danny she wasn't wet like she normally be the last time they had sex. Annie said she knows she got that wop, so Tony is obviously the problem. Zach randomly tells Fatima he saw Andi naked before. Now Fatima pulling up on Andi to discuss it, so I'm trying to figure out what came up to just randomly bring up the whole conversation of him seeing her naked. Like, what in the world that just boom, you just up and be like, oh yeah, I see Andi naked. After, like, what kind of conversation was they having to just out that like that, to make that an issue, like to cause this drama? And then she wanted to pull up on Andi like she ready to fight. Honey, Andi didn't try to make your man see her. Your man walked in on Andi. You need to get that clear and straight, that Zach walked in on her. He had no business going to her room. Don't be pulling up on Andi like Andi at fault and Andi did nothing wrong, because that's already putting a bad taste in my mouth, and I ain't even seen all of it yet. Zach should have immediately been texting her telling her hold up, but I kind of walked in her room. Don't make it sound like Andi just tried to walk out in front of Zach. No, no, no. That is it for today's Kiki at Easy Convos. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay cozy and keep that tea hot until our next Easy Convo. Love you guys. Bye.